a biking accident. They had a bike, and it was nighttime. The drivers were drunk, and that's unfortunate. But he also died. And here's the thing about the situation. One, the first lesson I learned from these two people no longer being here with us is that one, we don't know when our time is. And the only thing that's guaranteed with you watching this and me watching this, with you watching this, me talking, is that we won't be here in 100 years, right? So we're both gonna disappear. And so then I feel like there's so many people that spend so much of their life on autopilot or worrying about what other people think about them. And just imagine for those two people who just passed, hey, how you doing? Welcome in. Just imagine for those two people who just passed, they're no longer here. Just imagine how many conversations they had with people they didn't like. Just imagine, and you're probably thinking about this now, how many emotions, negative emotions they had, how many drama and beef they had with people who no longer matter because they're no longer here. How many times they didn't fail to, or how many times they failed to tell family members that they love them. How many times they failed to go up to that girl or that boy that they would have loved to talk to, but they didn't because they were too shy, or maybe they didn't want the fear of rejection, but they're no longer here. So it doesn't matter. And I think if you can frame your life from the perspective of death and look backwards, then it becomes so much more powerful, right? I don't want to get morbid, but I do want to scare you into action because there's a saying, there's a quote that says, "A man has two lives. One is begins when he's born, and the second life begins when he realizes he only has one." And I think so many people have to go through a life-changing event or a life-threatening event to get to a point where they can see, you know, I'm eventually going to die. I'm mortal. I might as well give it the best shot that I can. I might as well go out there and do something that I want to do, right? I might as well really come up with a plan that I want to achieve in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years. And this is the life I want to live. And I might as well do it, even if nobody else agrees with it. Even if everybody in my life has to be replaced with other people, I'm going to do my plan because it's my life. And I don't want to get to 80 and live a life that other people approved of, but I felt miserable in, right? I think it's one of the biggest shames. If you ever talk to people who are in their 70s, their 80s, their 90s, and they will tell you, oh, when I was younger, I wanted to be a rock star, or I had a band and I really wanted to do well with that band, or I should have written a book when I was younger, or what do you want to be a movie star, a model? I really wanted to spend more time with kids. They talk about these things that they would have done. And I think that's one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears to get to 80, to get to 90 and have regrets about how I should have lived my life. And maybe you agree with this too. Maybe you agree with that. Maybe you don't. That's fine. However, I think that's one of the biggest regrets that everybody can make. Anybody. I mean, just think about it, man. If you look at life from the end backwards and you think, okay, what would I have to do to be 99 years old and look back at the rest of my life and say to myself, yeah, I did that. I did that. Oh, yeah, that was fun. What would I have to do to be looking at my grandkids at 90 years old and think to myself, oh, that was a good time. You won't believe what your grandfather did. You won't believe. You won't believe. When I was 20, I did this, this, this. And when I met your mom, I was scared out of my mind, but I still approached her. What would I have to do? to be that person.